talking about the Consumer Guarantees Act today. Thanks!
CGA is a New Zealand act that protects the rights of consumers and business owners for products and services used under household and personal consumption. The act looks to supervise small and medium-sized enterprises, where all must comply with the obligation under the act. If the supplier does not follow the act, the consumer has to right to take them to court. If the manufacturer does not have a place or business in New Zealand, the supplier will also owe the consumer an obligation under CGA. A consumer is a person who obtains for the supplier, and service is commonly used for personal or household consumption. To obtain means to receive by way of gift, purchase, of exchange. It will also mean to rent or buy on installments.
The Consumer Guarantees Act provides many guarantees around the supply of goods to consumers. These guarantees are: goods must be of acceptable quality when the consumer receives it. The good must be fit for all purposes for which goods of that type are supplied. To clarify, fitness for just some purposes would be a breach of the Consumer Guarantees Act. These products must be acceptable in appearance and finish, free from minor defects. And finally, the goods must be safe and durable. The Consumer Guarantees Act provides many guarantees around the supply of services as well. These are: services must be carried out with reasonable care and skill. The service must complete the purpose required, and the service has to take place within the agreed upon time. If no time has been agreed upon, then the service must be completed within a reasonable time. The price also must be within reason. What is deemed to be reasonable is what is common practice with regard to that service at that time. The Consumer Guarantees Act also defines how remedies are carried out for unsatisfied consumers. The supplier can first decide whether they want to repair the product, if the goods are repairable, if it can't be repaired or fixed in time, or as a failure of substantial character. The consumer may reject the remedy and ask for a replacement or refund. A failure of substantial character will occur if description is not met in a significant way, or is no longer fit for the purpose and the product becomes unsafe. Consumers may also apply for consequential losses for damages caused by the failings of the good or service. The damages must be reasonably foreseeable, and the failure of the good or service must be acted upon as soon as it is discovered by the consumer.
Generally, the Consumer Guarantees Act applies despite any agreement to contract out between parties. Any attempt to contract out is considered a breach of the Fair Trading Act. The only exception is in business-to-business transactions. It is possible to contract out of the Consumer Guarantees Act when a business-to-business transaction is occurring. As per Section 43, subsection 2 of the Consumer Guarantees Act, for businesses to contract out, they must have a written agreement stating that the Consumer Guarantees Act does not apply. Both parties need to agree that the Consumer Guarantees Act does not apply, and the terms stated in this agreement must be fair and reasonable. Additionally, the goods or services must be supplied and acquired in trade.
But what does that mean for you as a business owner? It doesn't matter if you are a small garden owner or a laborer, everyone acting in trade needs to comply with the responsibilities under the CGA. The practical consequences of the CGA for business practices include ensuring that all goods sold are within reasonable promised quality and match the description, with spare parts and refunds prepared for damages within particular natures. We suggest all current contracts and terms of trade need to be reviewed to identify any opt-out clauses that are enforceable. Overall, businesses should be aiming to imply a promise of care and remedy with consumers, providing a representation of quality and nurture to keep their customers happy that operate within the law. In conclusion, if you wish to know more about the issues we have addressed, more information can be found at the website legislation.govt, consumerprotection.govt, or the consumer.org website. The CGA concerns all business owners and consumers who transact in trade online and offline. So if you're one of them, please exercise yourself to learn the Act and put it in practice.